Seaport is modern. It provides the next generation of Boston architecture, and while the new developments in this neighborhood may mirror other newer skylines throughout the US, it will be fun for building enthusiasts in 100 years to compare this new Seaport with older neighborhoods in Boston. Notice, I referred to Seaport as a neighborhood. Technically, this is wrong. Officially, Seaport is a district within the neighborhood of South Boston, but it's really developed into its own ecosystem with its own architecture, its own T-line, and its own urban planning team. This identification might upset someone from the area who knew Seaport before it developed into what it became today, and the city of Boston still officially recognizes the area as the South Boston waterfront, but as a transplant, I've noticed that everyone refers to Seaport as its own individual entity. If you're at a party and you say, well, if you live in Seaport, you actually live in Southie, you're going to be that guy. And if you visit both Seaport and the rest of Southie, the differences will be obvious, so I went ahead and made a video about the neighborhood of Seaport. Unlike the West End, where beautiful North End-esque homes were torn down to make way for new development in the late 1950s, Seaport really just replaced parking lots, dead docks, and other defunct and potentially degenerate aspects of the city. The goal was to take this area and go vertical to help meet rising demand for downtown housing in Boston for transplants coming to work at all the large companies in the vicinity. If you want modern amenities in your unit, it is a guarantee you will receive them in Seaport. The vast majority of apartments in this neighborhood are new, as in built in the past decade, so they will include laundry and unit, efficient heating, air conditioning, and a dishwasher. For a price, they should also include a parking space. There was a significant amount of planning that went into the design of Seaport, and Boston has experience in developing new neighborhoods. In Seaport, you've got breweries, restaurants, and coffee shops at the bottom of your apartment buildings. They are a bit more chainy, but many do offer great rooftop views of the city. If you're going to be working at GE or Reebok, among others, you won't have to leave Seaport to get to work. If you are working in the financial district, it's still a fairly short walk. However, if you have to commute elsewhere in the city, the transit in Seaport brings about our first consideration. Seaport connects to the Silver Line, which is actually a bus line that, at least through Seaport, runs underground. The Silver Line is convenient for getting to the airport, but it really only hits downtown at the South Station. So you're always going to have to change lines to get elsewhere in the city. And it doesn't look like the city of Boston will be updating the T route through Seaport to change this access anytime in the near future. Seaport has zero Boston charm. Unlike the West End, which still has a few older buildings and borders the historic neighborhoods of North End and Beacon Hill, the living area in Seaport is across the water from the skyscrapers of downtown Boston, has the convention center to the southwest, and if you look across the harbor at East Boston, you'll see new condos. As you can see, you'll have to leave the neighborhood for Boston charm. If you grew up here, maybe you've had enough Boston charm for one lifetime, but as someone who's not from the area, I appreciate being around Boston's unique history on a daily basis. Seaport is also one of the most expensive areas of Boston. Put it up there with any other expensive neighborhood like Back Bay. If you have your heart set on living in Seaport, you may want to consider getting some roommates. The positive is that unlike other older expensive neighborhoods, you do tend to get all the modern amenities you expect for your money when you live in Seaport. The expensive aspect also trickles over to the food and drink in the area. There are a few dive establishments in Seaport, but most places to go out are newer and fancier. Not that this is a bad thing, just know that you're going to pay more for it if you want to stay in the area. Speaking of expensive things in Seaport, there's a Trader Joe's for your groceries, but otherwise your weekly supermarket run will likely consist of you having to leave Seaport to get your groceries. So I mentioned Seaport was a bit pricier, and on the screen we see our average rents in the city. A one bedroom is going to run you about $3,800, and a two bedroom is going to run you around $5,200. Yes, the three bedroom is extremely expensive. That's slightly skewed due to the small sample size in February of 2022, but look, you get the point. It is expensive to live in Seaport. So this concludes my quick overview of Seaport. Please let me know in the comments if I missed any important aspects of the neighborhood, or if you have any questions, please subscribe to see similar neighborhood guides and moving tips in Boston, and please like the video if you enjoyed.